Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Thank you for attending this evening's inaugural meeting, recognizing the commencement of the 2014 to 2018 term of the Oakville Town Council. My name is Vicki Titanic, and as Town Clerk, I will be acting as Master of Ceremonies for the initial portion of this evening's meeting. At this time, I would ask everyone to stand for the processional to welcome the members of Town Council and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, which will be led by Stephanie Barone.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons' command, qu'à ton bras se porter le pays, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you to Piper Andrew, Stephen Wise, and Stephanie Barone. You may be seated. So with us this evening, we have Rabbi Stephen Weiss of the Oakville's Interfaith Council. At this time, I invite Rabbi Weiss to come forward to the podium to give the invocation.
I stand here as a representative of the Interfaith Council of Halton, some of whom are here with me this evening. We've worked on many initiatives with the town, including many of the councilors, food drives, the Be a Donor organ campaign, the commemoration of historical events, and we've gotten to know many of the town councilors and mayor personally, and it's a pleasure to be here this evening. Perhaps the first rabbi to offer the invocation, I imagine. I wanted to bring a quote from the Bible. We read in the book of Deuteronomy, "And you, Moses, shall appoint judges and officials for your tribes, and they shall govern the people with justice. They shall not judge unfairly. They shall know no partiality. Rather, justice shall they pursue." The rabbis ask, why do they repeat the word justice twice? To remind us of its inherent value in leadership. In matters of justice, one may never stand still, whether it's for position you believe in or a compromise you must reach. And so may it be with those of you who serve our community. May you advocate with justice, may you listen to the positions of others, and may your compromises be in the name of integrity. May you have faith in yourselves, in your positions as leaders, and in the other members of this council and in the citizenship at large. May you help keep our homes safe and our community sound in body and in spirit. And from this, may you govern with wisdom, respect, charity, gratitude, and a sense of awe. In Hebrew we say, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechayanu v'kiyamanu v'higyanu l'zman hazeh, which means, blessed are you, the source of our existence, for you have kept us alive and sustained us and enabled us to reach this very special moment. And we say together, Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Our local federal members of Parliament, the Honorable Lisa Raitt and MP Terrence Young, were unable to attend this evening. Our regional chair, Gary Carr, is also unable to attend, but certainly sends his best wishes to all. With us this evening, our Oakville representative, MPP Kevin Flynn, is in attendance to bring greetings on behalf of the provincial government. And at this time, I would ask Oakville MPP Kevin Flynn to come forward to the podium.
Thank you. It certainly is a pleasure to be here, Your Worship. This room has a lot of memories for me, most of them good, in fact, almost all of them good. But it really is an honor to once again be asked to attend the inauguration this evening. And I'm here tonight to bring greetings on behalf of Premier Kathleen Wynne and your provincial government. We've enjoyed what I think is a strong era of cooperation between the province and the municipalities since we took office in 2003. I've shared that relationship, I think, with the Oakville Town Council and the Regional Council, and it's great when we can do what the people sent us down here to do, and that is to work together. I think often we see examples of how that doesn't happen in the town of Oakville. I think for the most part, in fact, I can think of very few occasions where we haven't been traveling the same path with the same intent in mind. But now, under the new leadership of Premier Wynne, we want to expect, or we should expect, that we're able to carry on this great tradition of working very effectively together for the benefits of all the citizens of Oakville and for the businesses of Oakville. Some of you will know that I'm entering my 30th year in public life. The majority of those 30 years was spent right in the seat that you occupy right now, soon to be Councillor Hutchins. And it's a lucky seat. I had a lot of good things happen to me there. But I've served alongside many of you. I know that you're all dedicated, you're effective public officials. You've represented the good people of Oakville in the way that they should be represented. It was right here in this room that I, and I think a number of you, have gained a valuable insight into how to foster that spirit of cooperation that leads to a more democratic, a more efficient, a more effective, and a government that the people of both Oakville and Ontario want to see. Like all of you, our government wants Oakville to remain that vibrant, thriving, and livable community that it is. Together we've accomplished a lot, and we can accomplish so much more, and that's great news, I think, for the people of Oakville. So I'm here this evening, as I said, on behalf of Premier Wynne, on behalf of the Ontario government, on behalf of the members of all three political parties that represent you at Queen's Park and are members of the Legislative Assembly, to extend my congratulations to you, Mayor Burton, on your re-election. Congratulations to all the town and regional councillors who have been returned to council, and welcome and good luck to the new additions to council. Your constituents have resoundingly supported you. They believe in the vision you offered and what you can offer as an individual, as a representative for your community. I know each and every one of you personally. I know you will serve the people of this fine community well. I really look forward to working both with you and for you again. My sincere congratulations, and those of all of us at Queen's Park. Thank you.
Thank you, MPP Flynn. It is my pleasure at this time to introduce the 2014 to 2018 members of the Oakville Council, and I would ask the members stand as their names are read and remain standing. Mayor Rob Burton, Ward 1 Town and Regional Councillor Sean O'Mara, Ward 1, Town Councillor Ralph Robinson. Ward 2, Town and Regional Councillor Kathy Duddick. Ward 2, Town Councillor Pam Demoff. Ward 3, Town and Regional Councillor Dave Giddings. Ward 3, Town Councillor Nick Hutchins. Ward 4, Town and Regional Councillor Alan Elgar. Ward 4, Town Councillor Roger Lapworth. Ward 5, Town and Regional Councillor Jeff Knoll. Ward 5, Town Councillor Mark Grant. Ward 6, Town and Regional Councillor Tom Adams. And Ward 6, Town Councillor Max Kahn. I would now call upon the Honourable Mr. Justice Jamie Trimble to administer the declarations of office to the Mayor and members of Council.
It is my pleasure to administer the declarations of office in accordance with Section 232 of the Municipal Act. While the Act itself contemplates a rather agnostic oath to be taken, if any of you profess a specific faith, and if you have a book with you that binds your conscience to your oath, I invite you to take it in your right hand, please. Mayor Burton, having been elected to the office of Mayor in the town of Oakville, do you solemnly swear and promise and declare that 1, you will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of your knowledge and ability? 2, you have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner. 3, you will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. 4, you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And do you make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath? Mayor Burton, do you so declare? I do. Thank you. To the members of the Oakville Town Council, having been elected to the office of Town Councillor or Town and Regional Councillor in the town of Oakville, do you solemnly promise and declare that 1, you will truly, faithfully, and impartially exercise this office to the best of your knowledge and ability? 2, you have not received and will not receive any payment or reward or promise thereof for the exercise of this office in a biased, corrupt, or in any other improper manner? 3, you will disclose any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. 4, you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And you make this solemn promise and declaration conscientiously, believing it to be true, and knowing that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath. I now ask all the members individually to declare or swear the declaration of office as I call out your names. Ward 1, Councillor O'Meara, do you so declare?
I do.
Councillor Ralph Robinson, do you so declare?
I do.
Ward 2, Councillor Kathy Duddick, do you so declare?
I do.
Councillor Pam Damoff, do you so declare? I do. Ward 3, Councillor Dave Giddings, do you so declare?
I do so declare.
Councillor Nicholas Hutchins, do you so declare?
I do.
Ward 4, Councillor Alan Elgar, do you so declare?
I do.
Councillor Roger Lapworth, do you so declare?
I do.
Ward 5, Councillor Jeff Nickel, do you so declare? I'm sorry, I beg your pardon, Noel. I'm sorry, Jeff. Do you so declare? Thank you. Councillor Mark Grant, do you so declare? Councillor Tom Adams, Ward 6, do you so declare?
I do.
And Councillor Max Kahn, do you so declare? I do so. It is my pleasure to confirm that all members of the Council have now taken the declaration of office declared before me at the town of Oakville this first day of December 2014. Members of the Council, collectively and individually, please accept my best wishes. May your decisions be wise. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honour. Mayor Burton, it is now my pleasure to call upon you to give the inaugural address and upon its conclusion to assume your responsibilities as the Chair of Council to address the business portion of the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. My fellow members of Council, please be seated. I hope you'll enjoy this. Distinguished guests, Justice Trimble, Minister Flynn, former Mayors Para and Barrett, and my fellow members of Council, staff, friends and neighbors, it's a great pleasure to stand here before you again. This date marks the start of the 126th term of Council since the incorporation of the town of Oakville 157 years ago. 8 years ago, Oakville's voters chose me as the 38th person to hold this office. And in the just completed 2014 election, like the election before it, the voters gave me and the other returning members of Council a greater majority and mandate than before. We may be doing something right. It is a humbling and inspirational trust that you have placed in each of us. This is a night of celebration and welcome for our 10 returning and our 2 new members of Council. And as we celebrate tonight, for me, our history keeps us company. Let's remember when Oakville and Trafalgar Township merged in 1962, it was a time of great fiscal challenge, even danger. Oakville survived. We should be proud of Oakville's staying power. Even before 1962, we had weathered storms of challenging and hard times. And always, we've done so while maintaining our identity, an identity that you can see in our core values. Our core values will guide us as we rise to meet the challenges that lie before us. Our challenges are not just local, but also national, provincial, and regional. We need to remember that problems can be opportunities in work clothes for the right people. And I am certain that our town's talent for working together with creativity and imagination makes us the right people to face what lies ahead. I want to share with you some of what I think these 4 groups of challenges will be. First, there's a group of challenges that's national in origin with strong local impacts. They will be front and center in our town in next year's federal election. Will the federal government take up its responsibility to build the infrastructure that Canada's cities and towns need? Will the federal government manage the economy, immigration, and growth to assure viable health care and a fair share for Oakville? The second set of challenges comes from our provincial government. Queen's Park is working on or considering changes to something like 30 different things that affect us. We cannot be passive bystanders here in Oakville. We will actively engage and seek the best for Oakville in all these areas, and especially in the following 7. First, the Police Services Act is undergoing its first review in more than 20 years. Although crime is falling, police are busier than ever as calls to the police for non-crime related services are rising at an unsustainable pace. As a result, all municipalities are looking for help in controlling the rising cost of policing. Second, the Planning Act is under attack on the one hand by developers who want to reduce the amount of parkland that they are currently required to give a municipality when they develop new homes. And on the other hand, we and others like us are seeking changes that will allow us to make development better respect our local vision for our future. And third, changes to the Municipal Act are also being sought to increase transparency and accountability and to give all municipalities the same powers Toronto has. This is not a country where I believe we should have 2 tiers of municipalities. We should all be the same. Fourth, the building code currently sets limits on what we can require of builders. We in Oakville want a higher, greener standard of building that we can choose to require on new developments in our town to make them more sustainable. Fifth, the Municipal Elections Act has not been reviewed in a generation. The Premier has promised to give municipalities the option of choosing ranked ballots over the first-past-the-post voting system. We, in the last election at the municipal level, have seen other opportunities to improve that act, and we will engage. Sixth, the Development Charges Act is under attack by the development industry, who wants taxpayers to pay for more of the costs of growth. We are pushing back and trying to undo the harsh changes made by the Mike Harris government in 1997. We want development charges to contribute to all of the costs of creating a complete community. Seventh, and finally, a key provincial challenge for all GTA municipalities will be the consolidated review of the 4 provincial plans that implement Places to Grow and the associated Green Space Protection Acts that we all love so much. The Greenbelt Act, the Niagara Escarpment Act, and the Oak Ridges Moraine Act. It's been 10 years since these 4 plans were put in place or reviewed. Can they restrain sprawl better? Can they make development less costly? Can they improve mobility by promoting better transit and transportation? The third set of challenges is regional. During this term of office, the Region of Halton will review its official plan, which governs our town's official plan, as well as the region's Transportation Master Plan and the Development Charges Bylaw. And these 2 things are related to what we do, the like that we do here, and therefore we have to care about them. Also, Regional Council will be looking at ways to provide affordable housing and to protect our AAA credit rating. Our local set of challenges is just as important as the others. We need to continue controlling growth and tax increases as we work to achieve our goals in 6 key priorities. 1, we will preserve and protect trees, environmental quality, and precious green space, including all of the Merton lands. And 2, we need to revitalize our historic downtowns and the cultural and social facilities that anchor them. And 3rd, we want to finish renewing our community facilities, such as Oakville Arena, and prepare plans for the downtown cultural hub, streetscape renewal, and community centers for the old hospital lands and North Park. And 4th, we must improve traffic flow with transportation infrastructure improvements. And 5th, we will make our contribution to the financing of our new hospital without using taxes. We will use new revenues from business ventures created by our utility holding company, Oakville Hydro Corporation. These ventures are separate from our electricity distribution utility, which is called Oakville Hydro Electricity Distribution, Inc. That is regulated by the province as to what it charges. So I can assure you that our contribution to the hospital's financing will have no impact on property taxes or electricity bills. And 6th, before us, we face a need to keep improving communication so that residents know about our challenges and can make their contributions to our success in meaningful ways. For example, it's not always clear to me if all residents understand that they elect the majority of us in this room to look after more than just the town portion of municipal services. The region, the police, and the town take most of our property taxes. We manage all 3 together to keep the total impact on taxpayers as light and as sustainable as possible. And we're doing pretty well, too. Province-wide statistics show that the cost of municipal services as a percent of household income is lowest in Oakville. We aim to keep it that way. Now, to succeed with all our challenges and opportunities will require us to keep true, as I mentioned we always do, to Oakville's core values. We hear these values every day in what we hear from you, our fellow residents, and 4 values stand out. Our first value that stands out is the importance of community. We see our town as a place where people support each other in meeting their needs and achieving their dreams. This value is evident today in our vibrant social and cultural sector. It's also evident in our pride and our history, as a key destination to freedom for slaves on the Underground Railroad. It's evident in our focus on families in all stages of life. It shows in our satisfaction in nurturing and launching talented young people who achieve great things beyond our borders. Our second value is pride in our small town character. Oakville residents cherish our historic downtowns, our waterfront, our forest trails, our trees, our gardens, our traditions, our peace and quiet. Our third value that stands out is safety. Oakville sees itself as a safe harbor, a safe place to raise our kids, welcome newcomers, and to protect the vulnerable. Our safety is the result of our sense of community and our small town character that we nurture and protect. Our fourth value speaks to how we guard our first three values with a quiet, business-like discipline. People tell me all the time that they like it when we all work together to run the town like a business. They mean cooperating, respecting, and listening to each other. They mean basing decisions on evidence and not emotion. They mean being careful with our resources. They mean finding the right people to do the jobs we need to make, and developing their talents to make them even better able to serve us successfully. Our four core values of community, small town character, safety, and business-like discipline allow us to create and strengthen Oakville as a place where people flourish and enjoy life. Our values give us the strength and confidence to adapt to changing times and design a future that is sustainable yet true to our identity. And finally, I want to give you a word about leadership. The Municipal Act sets out unique duties for a mayor as head of council and chief executive officer. It mandates the mayor to represent and promote the town and to provide leadership to council. My brand of leadership has always gratefully received advice in being the best that I can be to do the following 5 things. First, to model the way so that everyone can see the most effective behaviors to achieve our shared vision. Second, to inspire a shared vision so that we can all work together for the greatest possible common good. Third, to challenge the process so that we are continuously improving our ability to achieve our shared vision. Fourth, to enable others to act so that everyone's passion and creativity can help achieve our shared vision. And fifth, to encourage the heart in everyone so that we can persevere through challenges to success in our shared vision. As for council, we members of council set policies. Our staff provide us with options. We members of council make choices. Councilors move and second motions to give effect to council's choices. As head of council, as your mayor, what falls to me is to conduct meetings to help people take turns being heard. With only one vote, no mayor in Ontario can ever tell anyone what to do. And there's a recent example out there that I think makes my case for me. We have set a goal to be the most livable town in Canada, but we are not alone in seeking to be a better place to live. We have competition. Other people and places will always be challenging us for the lead. So we must always strive to be better than we are now. With this new 126th term of council, and its now even stronger mandate from you, the people of Oakville, I am confident that working together, we can meet our challenges in a way that will allow us to successfully continue our quest to be the most livable town in Canada. Thank you, Oakville, for your trust and confidence in us. You have chosen an outstanding council. This council embodies your hopes and dreams for this town of Oakville that we all love so much. With your support and guidance for us, your chosen representatives, the only direction for Oakville is onward and upward. Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe I can now call this meeting to order. And I'll even give the clerk a moment to get here. All right. I think the first thing on our regular agenda that duty requires saying is I need to ask the members of council if there are any declarations of pecuniary interest, and I see none. Council, you have the minutes of the previous council meetings of November 3rd and the confidential minutes of the closed session of council on November 3rd. Councillor Khan and Councillor Adams move and second the minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, if any, and they are carried. We have no public presentations. A word to the audience is perhaps in order. The matters before us are largely ceremonial or routine, and it's our hope to be able to rejoin you in the reception momentarily. So let's see if that turns out the way I hope. The first item on the agenda that we have to deal with, Council, is item number 1, the 2015 Council and Standing Committee schedule, and you need to make a choice. So, Councillor Robinson?
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that Council approve the recommendations before us in both items 1 and 2.
So, is there a recommendation on 1? I thought we had to choose one. So, on item number 1, there isn't a recommendation. It's a choice. Will we continue the pattern we've used up to now of having the standing committees meet at the same time, or will we go to separate days? For
I assumed that was considered a recommendation.
Okay, so let me thank you for your help. Councillor Robinson moves option number option number 2 on item number 1.
Status quo option.
Actually, the clerk says it's option 1. So let's all agree it's option 1? Yes. All right, we're all agreed it's option 1. And Councillor Robinson is also moving item number 2, the council appointments to various committees and boards. Councillor Demoff.
With item number 2, I'd actually like to have a bit of a discussion about the Budget Committee.
All right. Councillor Robinson, your motion will be for item number 1.
Yes.
We need a seconder. Councillor Adams, any discussion on that?
Mayor, I think it's actually option 2 that you're talking about, to move it to having alternate nights?
No, we've struggled with that.
Are you going to the status quo?
Well, we're looking for status quo here, is what I understand the will of council is.
Okay, thank you. Then I understand. I misunderstood Councillor Robinson.
Okay. You're seconding it? I'm calling the vote. All in favor? Opposed, if any? And we have successfully carried our first vote of the term. Councillor Demoff.
Just in terms of the appointments, the 2017 and 2018 Budget Committee are on here with names, and I had understood it was just the first 2 years that we were choosing. I may have an interest in being on it again, so I would prefer that we just deal with the first 2 years, if that's okay.
Are there other speakers?
Your Worship.
Councillor Robinson.
Your Worship, I like to support Councillor Demoff in this particular request, but we need to be careful because it's always been the position of this council that at least one member of council serve on one budget committee at least during his or her term of office. And if we went along with what Councillor Demoff is suggesting, it's possible that one of us might not make that cut in the next 4 years.
Thank you, Councillor Robinson. Is there a seconder for Councillor Robinson's motion? Councillor Robinson is moving item number 2. Councillor Adams seconds. Councillor Demoff.
I just wanted to say, first of all, when we were asked to choose committees, we were only asked for the first 2 years. And I agree with Councillor Robinson, everyone should have an opportunity. I see Councillor Khan isn't on here at all. My colleague, Councillor Elgar, is on for all 4 years. So I think there would be some ability to change 2017 and 2018 if we wanted to going forward.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor O'Meara.
Sorry, there we go. Just to echo Councillor Demoff's comments as well. You know, I noticed that I am on the first of 2015 budget, and seeing how this is my first term, that might not make the most use of what I might be able to glean. So if there was a choice or an option of the 4-year duration, I might look to change that rather than being upfront as well. So if I would support what Councillor Demoff is saying in terms of a whole 4-year schedule right now. But if we are going to go to a 4-year schedule right now, then I'd want to ask that maybe we can relook at where I'm going to be sitting in the year for the next 4 years.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other discussion? I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Those against? The motion is carried. Thank you. Now, that brings us to the new section of new business on the agenda. Notices of motion, emergency, congratulatory, or condolence. Councillor Demoff?
Thank you very much. I actually have two congratulatory, or the first one is one of good wishes. Councillor Duddick and I would like to ask Council to join us in wishing Ward 2 resident Madhu Nagahara good luck and success in his attempt to become the 22nd person to successfully swim the Straits of Magellan in southern Chile in late January. For Madhu, this is a short swim of only 3 to 4 kilometers, but it is by far his biggest challenge, facing sub 5 degrees Celsius water temperatures, extreme currents and tides, and weather that can change on a dime. Madhu has crossed the English Channel. He has run over 251 kilometers in 5 days in the Sahara Desert, and as many of you will recall, he swam for over 24 hours straight to cross Lake Ontario and finished his swim in beautiful Coronation Park. He doesn't do it alone. He has a tremendous team supporting his swim, as well as recruiting 2 other brave souls to join him in this crossing. And he's donating 10% of all money he raises to the Courage Polar Bear Dip. Madhu couldn't be here tonight, but I would ask that Oakville Council and the entire town send Madhu our best wishes on a successful crossing in January. The second item I had was I would just like to thank everyone involved with the 2015 Santa Claus Parade, because it was probably the most successful that we've had, and without the incredible support of the town of Oakville, everyone involved in many departments, and in particular Jamie Angus, who is our staff liaison, the volunteers, participants, sponsors, and everyone who came out to watch to make the 66th annual Santa Claus Parade a great success. So thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you, Councillor. Council, I would like to extend to Councillor Demoff our thanks and our appreciation for her outstanding conduct of the Santa Claus Parade. I believe that we may have just seen the best ever. Please take a bow. Everybody loves Santa's chief elf. Council, that brings us to the end of our brief meeting. We need a mover and seconder for consideration of reading of the bylaws, Councillor Duddick and Councillor O'Meara. Actually, Councillor Duddick, in the spirit of the first meeting, shall we let Councillor O'Meara and Councillor Hutchins, absolutely, the newbies, get their names right on the order paper. Councillor O'Meara and Councillor Hutchins, all those in favor? Opposed, if any? The bylaws are carried. Thank you very much for your time and attention. It's been great working with you. We are adjourned, and there's a party in the atrium.